Rising of the Shield Hero is an isekai anime that is very entertaining, and now well beloved by many. If you enjoyed this anime, and would like to have a look at more anime like it, here are 5 similar anime you must watch. Before we get started, if you're a fan of the series, please make sure to show your support by leaving a like and subscribing. This video, by the way, was a suggestion by one of our unique subscribers, so if there are any anime lists you'd like to see like this, please make sure to comment below so I can know. With that in mind, let's start with our first anime. If you want to watch a really funny anime which does not have that many episodes, then you'll love this. The first season of the anime has a total of 10 episodes, with each episode being 23 minutes in length. The plot is as follows. After dying a laughable and pathetic death on his way back from buying a game, high school student and recluse Kazuma Sato finds himself sitting before a beautiful but obnoxious goddess named Aqua. She provides him with 2 options: continue on to heaven or be reincarnated in every gamer's dream, a real fantasy world. Choosing to start a new life, Kazuma is quickly tasked with defeating a demon king who is terrorizing villages. But before he goes, he can choose anything or anyone to aid him in his quest, and the future hero selects Aqua. But Kazuma has made a grave mistake. Aqua is completely useless for such an adventure. Unfortunately, their troubles don't end here. It turns out that living in such a world is far different from how it plays out in a game. Instead of going on a thrilling adventure, the duo must first work to pay for their living expenses. Indeed, their misfortunes have only just begun. Now, in terms of similarities, KonoSuba is basically the Rising of the Shield Hero but funnier and more lighthearted. If you loved Shield Hero's isekai concept, but want your next watch to be a little less dark, you should check out KonoSuba. Up next, we have an anime that tells the story of a group of people who are unexpectedly transported to a fantasy world with no memories of their former lives. Fear, survival, instinct. Thrown into a foreign land with nothing but hazy memories and the knowledge of their name, they can feel only these 3 emotions resonating deep within their souls. A group of strangers is given no other choice than to accept the only paying job in this game-like world, the role of a soldier in the reserve army, and eliminate anything that threatens the peace in their new world, called Grimgar. When all of the stronger candidates join together, those left behind must create a party together to survive. Despite its resemblance to one, this is no game. There are no redos or respawns. It is kill or be killed. It is now up to this ragtag group of unlikely fighters to survive together in a world where life and death are separated only by a fine line. Many times we get to see the protagonist or the main characters of an isekai anime find themselves in a fantasy world where they have magical powers and become powerful and popular. But in the world of Grimgar, that is not the case. Those who are strong band together and leave the weaker members of their group behind, forcing them to survive by their wits. This is similar to the situation that Naofumi from the Rising of the Shield Hero finds himself in upon arriving in Melromarc. He's the weakest member of his party, and he's almost immediately ostracized and forced to act on his own. One might ask the reason as to why this next anime is on this list. There are a couple of reasons. First is a similar setting. Both the worlds are magical, the only difference being the protagonist of this anime not being new to his fantasy world. The second similarity is that both the protagonists start on the ground level and need to work hard and level up to become powerful. Bel Cronel lives in the city of Orario, a place which is anything but dull. He lives in a world where gods and humans coexist and have a hard time getting along. Bel dreams of becoming the greatest adventurer ever, and his dreams get a chance to become reality when he encounters Hestia, a lonely goddess. Hestia decides to support the young adventurer in his quest. The duo decides to undertake a dangerous adventure to explore the catacombs lying underneath the city. Dungeon is the name given to these catacombs where dangerous creatures of darkness live. Is Bel's resolve strong enough to get him through? The ordinary life of 17-year-old otaku Hajime Nagumo is disrupted when he and his classmates are summoned to a fantasy world and tasked with saving mankind. While his classmates are gifted with impressive abilities useful in combat, Hajime is belittled for only gaining an inferior transmutation skill that lacks any real offensive power. During an expedition in the Great Orcus Labyrinth, Hajime is betrayed by one of his classmates, plummeting him to the bottom of an abyss. Though he survives the fall, Hajime is faced with menacing monsters and misfortunes that send him spiraling into a grim nightmare. Desperate to live and return home one day, he resolves to fight for his survival, only to meet an imprisoned vampire he names Yu, who is also seeking to escape the labyrinth. Taking an interest in him, Yu and a few others along the way accompany Hajime on his journey to find a way back home, while steadily transforming from commonplace to the world's strongest. This anime is quite similar to the Rising of the Shield Hero, when it comes to the protagonist. Both of them get transported to a different fantasy game-like world. They start with minimum or no power and other people ridicule them. They strive hard and eventually become quite powerful. Arifureta, From Commonplace to World's Strongest, is on this list because its feel, storyline, and the protagonist are quite similar to the Shield Hero anime. When Momonga's favorite online game shuts down, he decides to spend the game's last moments logged into the server. Rather than being kicked off as he expects, he winds up being transported to a real version of the game as his character, the Dark Wizard who controls a guild called Ain Zuul Gaon. The world still operates with game-like mechanics, but the inherent dangers have dramatically increased. This is similar to Naofumi's predicament. Both of them must adapt to a game-like fantasy world, and both of them start off on the villain's side, though in Naofumi's case it's not by choice. Anyone who is a fan of isekai genre will know of Overlord. It is one of the most popular isekai anime which revolves around the MMORPG theme. This is a must-watch, and a perfect finisher on this list. Well, that takes care of our 5 suggested anime like The Rising of the Shield Hero. If you found value in this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and click on one of these videos for more content. Thanks for watching my unique family, and I'll see you all in the next one.